Welcome, everybody. We are back with the final rewatch of episode 6. We are joined again by Zaxx as our special guest. How are you doing? Did you survive the last one okay, or are you moving up from that stout that you had?
Actually onto pale ale, India pale ale. So I got one of
Excellent.
those mixer packs. You got to break it up, right?
True enough.
Wait, you
True
got a
enough.
sampler pack that actually included different samples instead of just four different flavors of IPAs?
Canada
Oh
is a
yeah,
fantastic country for that.
Every
yeah.
time
Our
I go to the
craft.
store and I look for, a craft beer brewery sampler, it's always, three IPAs and a regular pale ale. And I'm like, what the hell?
Mm,
I
no,
yeah.
We,
our craft beer game is strong up here. And even if you don't
Mhm.
want to buy the prepackaged sampler packs, you can just go and grab six different ones and put them in. They have these custom
Yeah.
six packs. Buy them like that too.
Yeah, I mean, I live in a great town for that. I mean, I think there's like 35 plus breweries in the town that I live in, like
Oh,
craft breweries,
nice.
and a lot of bars that do sort of local stuff as well as like stuff from across the state. But something about just the supermarkets are the worst for this. The big 12-pack samplers. It's all IPAs in the
Oh,
U.S. now.
well, see, we can't buy that at the grocery store.
Mm.
Oh, that's right. That's you
No,
guys live in the People's
Ah,
Republic,
shit.
don't
You
you?
guys, you
Zaxx,
guys live in a
Zaxx,
fascist country. Got it.
we were
that's
just
right.
selling them. We were just selling them on how great Canada was, and you just
I
had to go and
know.
spill the
I
beans
took it
on
all
that one.
away. I
All
took it all
right.
away.
So
Yeah.
where do you have to
Okay.
go to buy beer?
The
The
beer
liquor
vendor
store.
and or the liquor store. Yeah. They used to have drive-through beer vendors, but they
Impressive.
changed that, which I thought was kind
Oh,
of a fun idea.
at least in
It's like New
Alberta,
Orleans
it's
where
privatized.
you can go and get a daiquiri in a drive-through, and as long as they put the
I,
paper cover on the straw, then you're good. It's not an
You're
open
good.
container. Yeah.
Zax, I shit you not. Once, the first time I went to Toronto, and it was a work thing, and I won something, and they gave me a gift card to LCBO, and I was like,
Yep.
"What the fuck is the LCBO?"
Yeah, that's the be the Liquor
The
Commission
Liquor
Board of Ontario,
Control
probably.
Board of so
Yeah.
every liquor store in
Mm.
Ontario is a crown corporation. It's nuts,
So
but
in the South, you'll see those. They're often called ABC stores, and yeah, in several states in the South, they have those. Most places in the U.S., you can just go to a supermarket. Some states, you have to go to a liquor store, not a supermarket, depending on the strength of the alcohol.
right.
But even then, the liquor stores are still just regular stores. So
Ah,
How it
anyway,
works
we're
here is
rambling, I guess.
hotels have a
Sorry.
beer vendor, so you can get just beer at any hotel basically, and then anything stronger and beer you can get at a liquor store. Essentially,
mm.
I sent you
All
guys
right.
a picture of my collection of beers.
Ah,
Nice. All right, Pips, Alex, are you guys still drinking the same? Are you still on, was it bourbon and Miller Lite,
uh,
respectively?
I still am drinking, yeah, Texas straight bourbon, and it is just as good as it was before.
Nice. And Alex?
I'm still working through my Miller Lights.
All right. Wish you luck with that. But I honestly, after the last one, I thought you might be upgrading to something a bit stronger.
I mean, you don't crush Millers and then step up. Like, I mean, nobody has ever had good things happen to them after crushing a bunch of Miller Lights.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Uh,
My college experience wasn't the worst part of my life.
all right. True enough. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
back to the rewatch. We're all getting good and sauced. We're having a good time on a Sunday. Um, but yeah, that's about to change because I think we've got one more kind of half tower scene and then all kinds of stupid happening at this Waygate. But let's power through. Let's try and laugh. Let's try and enjoy. But this is not going to be good TV, folks.
Turn and face your sisters, and leave this tower.
And they're all thinking, the fuck just happened? And just when you think that it couldn't get any sillier, this happens.
I love how pissed Megan Mixedai slash Mon Mothma looked there when she shook her head.
What?
I just want to point out, so my background from kind of a military context, if you were doing something where you needed a bunch of people to kind of like coordinate, so like a ceremony or a parade or something like that, you do a lot of practice days beforehand just to like make sure that everybody has got they're all on the same page, right? So how often do banishments happen in the White Tower that all of the sitters are like, all right, you guys know the drill. She's going to walk to the center of the room. We're all going to subconsciously give ourselves a solid 3 count. Not 1, 2, 3, Susan. Fuck you. It's 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato. We stand
4.
up. We turn around. Like, get it right this time, girls. Get it right. Like,
It's her one and only banishment. It's her one and only. You got to do the ceremony right. But no, fuck Pips. That's a very good point. They must be banishing people every fucking week in this tower.
like the choreography in terms of like the timing and stuff, like somebody would have been standing there, like everybody else is turned around and be like, oh shit, yeah, I'm supposed to turn around. Like you would not.
Well, no, that's good. What I
What-
noticed is that the Aes Sedai must be elated to have Moraine gone because she's like probably a 7 or an 8, and less competition now.
But what I'm waiting for is a later scene in season 2 where another Aes Sedai meets Moraine and then turns her back on her. Like, hey, Moraine. Oh, wait. Shit, I got the memo. It just came via pigeon or whatnot. I turn my back on you. That's
Yes.
literally what's going to happen.
I love how petty this is. Like,
Are they
we're
Amish?
talking about like how representative this is for like a woman-controlled government. Like,
It doesn't make
who
them look
does
good.
this? Like, sorry, you're not in the sorority anymore, so we can't be friends anymore. We can't talk to each other. I'm like, it, if a guy gets banished in like a warrior society or whatever, they tend to just like, all sort of act like manly and tough, and then he rides off on his horse or whatever. They're like, Mom says I can't talk to you anymore. Like, why would you portray your people that you like this? Petty bitches.
Possible better question is why have this be your plan?
Yeah. Especially when there's a mechanic of banishment and like, enforced sort of exile is already a mechanic that exists in the world and doesn't require any of this shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
You know why banishment wouldn't have been needed in the story? It's because they never go to fucking Tarvalon.
I mean,
Like,
that's the problem with discussing this.
This is just the last 3 episodes, right? It's like everything was building up to that scissoring scene, and then this is the crap that, like, now that we're past it, this is the fallout. But I mean, the setup for the scissoring was all bad too. But like, none of this makes any real sense. And the really, really insulting thing is that they had a narrative that they could have followed, and they just threw that out the fucking window. And this is what I've said before, and I'll say it again. This is why I think this show is worse than Rings of Power, because Rings of Power butchered an appendix. It didn't actually butcher a narrative, and that's what Wheel of Prime did. They had the blueprint.
I strongly maintain we need to debate this, but we don't have time to do it here.
Not here. It's going to take
We'll
7
do it.
hours.
We'll do it as a live stream or something like that. Get people involved. But yes, this scene is shit. We can all agree on that.
I guess the one other thing that I think of when I see this is, okay, so you just leveled a criminal penalty down on somebody. You've banished them, right?
With no trial, no jury. Yep.
So like the expectation is, they might be angry, maybe even angry enough to lash out, right?
Don't worry. She's now sworn an oath on the sacred oath.
They've all
dildo.
turned their backs on her. Is that what you're going for?
Well, yeah, they have turned their backs on somebody who is angry, powerful, and capable of using magic.
Well, she's got the 3 oaths though, so I mean,
She can still huck a rock with it, though.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Gosh,
That would have made this scene so much better if like Leandrin is standing there and turns her back on her, and Moraine just chucks a rock at the back of her head.
yeah, or she pulls down the tower or something. you know,
Oh,
She just
man.
she just walks past one of the
The
sisters
shitty ogre
and just fucking
Mason
pantses her, just pulls her dress down around her ankles and fucking walks out. Damn.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
this
fucking
would've been so
high
much
school
better.
click scenes before. We can keep going, but
We are getting close to the most important scene in this episode, though. Very
Okay.
close.
All right, let's.
oh. Like,
why would you show this?
I don't.
I mean, I get why they're doing it, but it's so
They love
bad,
the pan shots in this fucking hall.
dude. Yeah, literally, somebody got their first circular camera cart and is just losing their shit.
the thing that came to mind when I saw this originally was that South Park.
How did they
episode
know to
where
open the
Butters has to
door?
go to Hawaii. Good point.
Yep.
And now I must turn my back on you. And oh god, Ilan Omer Sadai is there. Oh shit.
Oh.
How did
And
they
Alana
know?
is. And
Okay, so that's Ilhan Omar Sadai. Do we have names for the blue sister with the hijab?
No.
no, not yet.
Okay,
She's
fair enough.
Well, yeah, we'll see if she makes a bigger impact in this story.
But these Aes Sedai are the ones that were on her adventure, right? So there's the four reds, including Leandrin, the Chinese chick, Ilan Omar, and the skinny
Yep,
weirdo.
that's
and
right.
the
These
two
are her
greens,
sisters and ours.
Alana.
Yep. Again, man, if she just pants Leandrin, fuck, that'd be so good.
Or just pie faced her on the
Yeah,
way by.
rip the burqa off and run.
And
No,
her
this is the
best
wrong scene.
friend
I thought
looks
we were gonna see Maxim again. He's amazing.
Oh, I hope not.
Were you thinking of where Maxim hands Alana a little piece of fruit? That was one I think last
Yes.
episode.
I was thinking that, yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, sadly, we already covered that. I'm
Look
sorry.
at Alana with those like pretty high heels there. Those are, I feel like heels like that are pretty modern.
Good point.
Like
Just make
those
them
aren't
taller.
boots. Those are legit heels.
Those are min style heel.
Yeah. So again, the one hallway. Can we definitively say now that yes, this hallway both opens into the hall of the tower and onto the ring melting sort of plateau, which also mystery connects to the hallway that Moraine and Leandrin sort of talked about the man from freaking North Harbor in. Right? Right? Like you want to talk about a tesseract or something like that, right? Like just bending time and space around this fucking hallway.
Well, they're just foreshadowing what ends up happening to the White Tower when reality starts to unravel in the dark once touching the world. It's already
You give
happening.
them way too much credit. None of them read that far in the books. None of them read this far in the books.
She's off to
Why
Hawaii.
is
on her
everyone
honeymoon.
crying?
Glad that's over with. Now we got
Okay.
Aldeeb again. Is
Okay,
Patton Fane
so-
in this shot? Is this where's Waldo again?
So I don't see him. I don't think so. So she changed her. She put on the hoop earrings and she took off her little head jewel, and she threw a scarf around, but she's still wearing the same dress. Is that
But what
we
about
agree
her,
on
her
that?
fingerless gloves? Well, white people with dreadlocks, that's Alex's favorite. We got a couple of those. Okay, full on, that's a male tower guard, first one that we see on the left.
Two of the ones guarding. So the two guarding the door from the hall were both male on that last shot.
Oh, okay.
I love this sequence right here. It is the most over the top, overly dramatic nonsense. Like the way that she is riding and with this music, you would think she is Aragorn trying to get to Helm's Deep to warn Theoden. And no, she's just riding to a waygate. And then she's going to wait. It's
All right,
And
let's.
she
I'm gonna-
had a better means of travel in her room, and this is her plan. Oh,
All right, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it all the way through because I kind of want to see this shot as well. The music is so epic.
swapped her earrings out at least.
Yeah,
and her dress, because she's back to the blouse and the pants.
she's also kind of a bad rider.
Oh, she's terrible, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's gonna break her hymen for sure.
I mean, if you notice, literally, she's not in any of this.
Yeah.
Okay, quick question. We can pause. So, waygates, where are they canonically?
Ogier
Oh
Groves,
yeah.
In cities and outside of
outside
settings.
settings.
Where the fuck is this?
I'm just saying that so they aren't actually in cities except for the one in Tarvalon. All the other ones are in the grove near the city. So in theory, they could be thinking that this in this
Oh.
massive clearing is supposed to be the grove, which is kind of the opposite of what it would look like.
Caemlin's Waygate is within the city because the city
Mhm.
kind of grew
Yeah,
over
when the
the
city
grove.
The
grows
city
to
grew on top of it,
encompass.
yeah.
And then the
But
other Waygate in
like
Kyrian is
Kyrian,
on the Barthana's estate,
which is outside the
right?
city, yeah.
Yep. Tyr? Does Tyr even have a Waygate? I'm not sure because Tyr's not an Ogier
Just the
city. It's
one,
not Ogier built.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think they do.
Hmm.
I was thinking of the portal stone, but
Anyways,
that's yeah.
it wouldn't be in the middle of a field close to Dragon Mount, and it wouldn't
Nope.
look like this.
It wouldn't look like shit, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But anyways,
That
that
looks
was
like
my
it's made
point
out
for this
of
shot.
it looks like it's made out of Lego bricks. Like it's just
Yes.
crudely fashioned.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we actually see this brick stuff in Tarvalon, but like at the side of the building, like a buttress. Like they just recycled a styrofoam
Mm,
building that they had.
yeah, for
That's
sure.
entirely possible.
Alex, I love the point that you made. Yeah, she just shows up and she like looks around and is like, where the fuck is everyone? I did my epic ride. I did my
Yeah, if you would have just walked with the horse, you know you wouldn't be waiting.
Oh man.
Oh man.
That has to have been shot for something else, right? Like they had to have shot that for like running from the Trollocs or something, and then they were just like, ah, shit, we don't have an establishing shot for this transition. Yeah, fucking
No,
throw it
I
in.
don't think so. They wanted to show on the screen all the tumultuous feeling she's having inside and how they're lashing out of her out of control. She has a tempest in her, possibly even.
Good call. Good call.
uh so
Fingerless
we can
gloves.
yeah.
Ooh, fingerless gloves.
Yes. We did
Those
it.
aren't even actually gloves though. They don't actually.
They cover a palm.
Where the fuck did he come from? We just did a full pan around this thing, and it's a giant clearing that's clear for like a quarter of a mile, and then fucking Loyal is 20 feet away from her. Like, what?
Also,
Ogier are sneaky.
we couldn't have gotten him a bigger horse.
I mean, it's a normal sized horse because he's normal sized. He's like 6'2".
Bigger horse would make him actually look smaller. Maybe they should have given him like
A pony.
All right. Finally, some main characters.
The one on
Where?
the left is called shit, I forgot his name.
Pern.
Pern.
Pern. Yep. Pern. The one on the right is Power Girl. Is that how you pronounce it? Gosh, this
Probably. Now, let's keep in mind, Perrin and Egwene don't know that Rand and Matt are alive. Or even around.
Yeah, super glad Perrin got better so quick. But
Yellow Aja can heal surgical cuts like the best of them.
And he still had to rest
his mouth
for
is
a long
closed.
time. And feel
God.
sorry for himself.
you fucking
They
simp.
grin a bit.
Yep.
What a wonderful reunion. Fuck
you look
Matt.
like shit. Matt telling anyone they look like shit in this show is just absurd. It's fucking absurd.
And Literate Hair is making a good point in the chat, but this whole flight to the Waygate in the books, right? When they're in Caemlin and they're devising their plan, they're going to bypass Tarvalon now. They're going to go to the Eye of the World, but they have to sneak out because their inn is being watched by White Cloaks, and
Yeah.
they have to use the Waygate. But Loyal when the plan is revealed, like, okay, we're going to use the ways, he objects and he goes, no, if we go in there, we'll all fucking die. Well, he doesn't say fucking,
Yes.
but that is well done. It's setting
Yeah,
up like
they
dread.
build the tension. They actually make it. They
Exactly.
give some stakes. Yeah.
But what is Loyal doing in this shot? Like he's just like, all right, I'm gonna ride along. I'm gonna come with you. This will be no problem. Like he has no objection to it whatsoever. Um,
Super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
and there's no
Yep.
explanation as to why the ways are dangerous or scary or whatnot. Like,
Well, they're not dangerous or scary. They just have kind of the mean girls sort of hanging out in
yeah,
there.
okay, true enough. Mean Girls never killed anyone directly.
That's
Feels good to see you.
I told you I'd find you.
These
Fuck you, Egwene. Fuck, is that what you did? Is that what you just did? Fucking hell.
So we have I told you I find you, which I feel like is an inversion of the story, right? And then on top of that, we have these two really looking at those are some bedroom eyes they're giving each other. I
Oh
think
yeah.
they are setting up the three-way with
That's- Yeah,
yeah.
I got a quick comment, and that is you're absolutely right. It is an inversion, but here's the offensive thing. Egwene does tell Rand when they're fleeing Shadar Logoth or Shadar Logoth
Mhm.
that she will find him. So this is like one of the few examples of consistency across episodes.
Mhm.
So this show can be consistent. It's just when they fucking choose to be, it's offensive shit like Egwene being like, "Don't worry, Rand, Dragon Reborn, I'll find you."
Mhm.
Shaking my head makes me want to lash out.
It's another turn of the wheel.
Don't you start with that, Zaxx. Don't you start with that.
Don't you fucking start.
But no, but you guys hear what I'm saying, right? It's we rip on this for so many of the logical inconsistencies. When there's an example of a consistency across episodes, it just happens to be an offensive one. And it obviously shows that the writers cared enough about that moment in episode 3 and now in episode 6 to get it right. They didn't care about anything else. Fuck this show.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's worth pointing out that so the things that they actually hit are indicative of the things that they actually care about. So they hit Egwene being awesome and her doing all this stuff
Mhm.
because they care about that. I mean, shit, we're at 55 minutes almost into this episode, and is this the first? No, because we saw Rand and Matt when Matt got healed. We saw okay. So this is the
This is the
first
first line
dialogue that Perrin has had the entire show. It's the
this episode,
first,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's honestly it's the majority of the screen time for all three of the boys is really what it is, right? Like the next couple minutes is the majority of their screen time from the episode. Like
Is Perrin hovering his hand, or is it just an unfortunate shot here?
no,
Got the
his hand
hand hover. Alright.
is on his back.
We'll
The other hand's going for the border, I think.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely looks like he's contemplating kissing him. I think we can agree on
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Beard on beard action. Fuck the show. How did you know about that, Perrin?
Yeah. How did you know about that? What? I. Yeah, that's a good point. How did they know about that? I thought we'd established that like none of them actually know that the other party is alive at this point.
Unless Loyal was running his mouth, but I don't see why. God damn it.
But again, guys, this is an example of how they tell stories now. It's like we know because they've told us these guys are alive. So there's no point having them tell each other they're alive. They don't need to. We know.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
There will be time for every story.
That's
as we
awkward.
travel.
Yeah, I was gonna say that did not look comfortable.
No.
And let's just remember too that Perrin at least hasn't seen Nynaeve yet. So unless he was
Right.
told. And horse watch, Pips. This is going to offend you. So
I know.
much.
I do. I'm waiting to kind of
Uh,
pan out and see all the different horses. I wanna see what
Okay.
they got going on here.
But I was saying more. It's like what they actually do to the horses, right?
Yes.
And not only that, like Matt and Rand and Perrin and Egwene, for that matter, showed up without horses. So they bought horses to ride out to the Waygate.
That I have a suspicion look eerily similar to the horses that we've seen them on before.
Well, fuck.
That
There's
is
one-
true, Dane. They
there's
bought
one named
horses.
Bella?
Just to abandon them.
Yeah.
They just
They
smack
bought
them on the
horses, they bought saddles, they bought saddlebags.
and bridles. And okay, so you guys honestly remember that that Reddit AMA that Ragnor did, right? Where he got a question about Bella,
Yeah.
and he said, "Yes, it's like we definitely are following."
There's all
Bella.
these old Czech men.
Czech men who care about Bella, 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 Bella. This is so important. Okay, Bella was fucking gone since episode 2, I think. Like
Mhm.
she ran out of Shadow Logoth and then hasn't showed up. Are they trying to claim that Bella is back and took Egwene to the Waygate
And
And
are
then
they
they
going to
just-
abandon Bella?
again? Let's have a look because Bella was had like a white sock, a chestnut horse with a white sock. Was that it?
Yeah, let's
that's
take a
right.
look here.
All right.
Dane, I
Fuck off,
forget,
Aldib.
Can horses go? Yeah. Wow. Those are two sort of like significant staples of the franchise getting told to just F off right there.
do you know how shitty it is to do that? Turn a horse loose with its saddle and bridle on already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's going to get
This thing's-
saddle sores. It's going to get all sorts of stuff. It won't be able to eat with the bridle in.
Stuck on, yeah,
And
stuck on
unless
shit
it's-
at best.
Unless it's smart enough to go right back to the stable, but I don't think they work like homing pigeons. But yes, you guys are absolutely right. You don't take
I've-
the
I've
bridle
had-
off. You don't take the saddle off. You don't brush them down. Or like these horses are gonna die out in the woods.
Yeah, I've had a horse break out of pastures and stuff like that before. And I mean, they're better than cows. Cows will just go forever, and you got to go track them down. Horses will generally stay fairly close. But yeah, like if you took a horse miles away, and we can't see the city of Tar-Valon in any of these panoramic shots that we've had. So this is
The
miles
only
away.
reference point we have is Dragon Mount, but that's
Dragon
that can be
Mount.
seen for hundreds of miles, right? So-
Yeah. So, this is at least several miles, right? To not be able to see the giant dildo tower. Yeah, those horses are not like they're not going to go back to Tar-Valon. So best case scenario, they run into a farmer who or like a merchant or somebody on a road who grabs them up like, oh, fucking free horse. This is good.
Do you know what might
Yeah.
actually make some sense right now? Is if Loyal's the one who gathers the horses and then just fucking walks off with them. Because then he'd at least have something to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. So looking at the horse here on the far left, which is where Egwene's horse is, that does look like a chestnut horse with one white sock.
I don't know if the sock is high enough on the back fetlock.
You don't think the back left hoof on that one?
I want to say Bella was a calf sock. This is
Actually,
more like
and
an ankle
never
sock.
and never mind. Actually, that was never mind. That actually it makes no sense. That was Perrin and Matt over on the left, even though they didn't ride in together. And then Egwene,
While they hugged. So that
yeah. So they all sort of slapped somebody else's horse. So it's like, hey, I hope you didn't want anything in this saddlebag that's yours. Like no last second get your wallet out of the fucking cup holder, like none of that shit.
You know why they didn't take their saddles and stuff off is because people who like the show are so stupid. They'd be like, well, now the horses are naked.
That's probably true.
Finally,
Fuck,
some
that's
nudity
probably
in
true.
the show. Although I shouldn't say that because we had the last rewatch. That was thank the Lord for Lord Matt, not a Lord, for blurring that out.
What are you doing?
Matt did leave his wallet in the cup holder.
Here's a question: but did Matt just slap his own horse's ass? Yes or no? Can we
No,
check back?
he slapped somebody else's horse.
Did he slap a horse and now he's asking what's going on?
Well, I
Like,
mean,
was
that's
he just caught up in the moment, or what the
All right,
fuck?
here. Let's go back.
All right, Pet Aldeeb, Mandarp, actually a cool horse.
Just
Slap,
push.
push.
that is
and
not
push.
what you need to do to get a horse.
Yeah. So I guess actually just Aldeeb and Mandarp got told to like fucking skedaddle, and
And the
the
other
other
horses followed.
horses, I guess, yeah, I didn't
The
really
other
see a whole lot of
horses were
slaps in
so
there.
the other horses were so desperate to get away from these losers that were like, "Yep, we're going with these two. Fuck you."
At least I like this line from Matt, but that's because it's meta commentary on this scene as well as this entire show. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, pretty much.
They would not survive the ways.
Dan, is that
What?
is that true? Because
No,
I
because
see.
they take their horses with them through the ways.
I was gonna
Like,
say I
all the fucking
I
time.
distinctly remember Perrin fighting a Fade in Shadow Rising and on a horse in the ways.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway,
Um,
Aldeeb and Mandarb and Red, who is one of the Rand's named horses, like, and Bella makes it through the fucking ways. Like, good God.
so what do you guys think of the forced perspective in this shot?
Moon boots?
Like this is actually the perfect this is the perfect shot to establish the like height and sizes of the different characters, right? And instead you have Lan looking fucking small. Lan looks like a little bitch,
He's
right?
farther away,
Yeah,
but
true,
he
right?
doesn't
I'm
look 6'2".
like
Remember
I
that.
understand where they are in the scene. I'm just saying like this would be the shot where you could employ a little bit of forced perspective, where you could kind of move people a little bit in the frame and actually make Loyal look the size he's supposed to look, have Lan look taller than freaking Nynaeve instead of like smaller, right? Like this
Well,
is this
this is why they framed the shot as it did. It's like they had the cinematographer, and then they're looking. They're like, "No, Lan, go back another couple paces. You're too tall. Nynaeve needs to be at least an inch tall."
No, I don't buy that. If they had done this intentionally versus just negligently, Moraine would be in the shot. There's no way that they intentionally set up a shot and Moraine's.
I was
Don't
actually
worry.
just thinking, I'm actually impressed that they managed to get all of them in the shot. Like, that is how low my expectation is for this show.
And technically they didn't, because Moraine is being blocked by Perrin, but she's about to walk up the steps. Isn't she to monologue for a bit?
If you don't know it's Lan, that looks like a chick.
Fucking bun.
Yeah.
Egwene and I told them what the Amelin said. But none of us will follow you blindly. Not
Wait,
without
what?
answers to our
Wait, pause. Egwene and I told them what you've done. When did you talk to them? You just found Matt and Rand like a minute ago.
No, that was a Gwen. So this is so weird.
Perrin
right?
and Egwene showed up together, and
Yeah.
Nynaeve showed up with the others. So in theory,
Nynaeve showed up with Lan
Egwene,
and Moraine, and Nynaeve is the linchpin, so she's actually seen all of them before this, but she's the
Yeah.
only one.
I'm just saying
Yeah,
when they
so
rode
I'm
up with
sorry, yeah.
horses, all right? So Nynaeve, Lan, Rand, and Matt showed up together, and Perrin and Egwene showed up together. So the
For
two
this
of
scene.
them, yes, the two
Okay.
of them in theory could have told the other members of the party what Swan told them about the two of them being the most important people in all of the universe.
But you'd also think that maybe Nynaeve would have told Egwene that, don't worry, Rand and Matt are alive and they're here at some inn, like at the Light's Blessing or whatever it is.
Which,
But
I
instead,
mean, maybe we're supposed to gather that she did, because they did not seem like Egwene was more excited to see Nynaeve than she was to see Rand. So maybe that's just like a meta thing, that like she actually is kind of more into Perrin and she's been with Perrin the whole time. So like, you know,
I think a lot of that information sharing in the show is impacted by what I've realized now is they do dialogue like a series of monologues. It's not people talking to each other, it's speeches. They take turns
Yeah.
giving speeches.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
non sequiturs and it's talking to the audience.
Yes.
Yeah. Awful, awful, awful.
Has Nynaeve always had like almost Layla levels of earrings in that one ear?
Yes.
Okay. I just
Or she has like, well, her earrings
only
change
it's
more than
only
their
3 or
fucking
4,
I've
but
all
you know.
crossbones.
heard of the ways and stories, but
Have
none
you,
of us know
Rand?
what they are.
That,
This is the talking to the audience.
but,
Yes.
but you've heard of ways and stories, but you don't know what they are. Does that make any type of sense? Like, what kind of a story was it? Was the story about the ways? Did they go through the ways in stories? The fuck is this?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to say that that line is only there to feed an opportunity for her to tell the audience, like for Moraine to just stare directly in the camera and tell the audience, what the ways are. That's
Yeah,
Every
and at the end of
possible
that speech,
out of
well, why
time.
didn't you take the thing from your wall?
One step in the ways could be 100 miles in our world. One breath, the equivalent.
It's the fastest road to the eye of the world.
Really? Because it's not the thing that's hanging in your fucking bedroom? Again, like, she cannot speak an untrue word, can she? What's wrong with this? Because the,
Well,
the only way that this is not a lie is if you say that the Terangrial in both her and Swan's love hut or rooms that go to the love shack only go to the love shack.
well, if you're being super technical, she said it's a road.
Fuck you, Zach.
I guess that's an interesting point. Would you consider the ways to be a road?
Uh,
I don't know.
I'm
That's
going to
all I got
concede
for
that
that,
point.
though.
Yeah, I'll concede. Well played, sir. Fingerless
so
gloves.
so I just want to point out that I was wrong before. She actually did change her whole outfit, but she's got the same shoulder pads on this dress slash jacket
Nice.
as
And
she did on the dress, which makes me wonder, like, have we seen this jacket before?
I think
I
so.
think I
Yes.
think actually we might have. So looking back at it, this is the same one that she was wearing in episode 1, which I need to make a correction about my comment about the stupid double shoulder pads. She apparently had double shoulder pads the whole time and that didn't work. However, this jacket should have a giant fucking sword hold through it. So you'd think, like, I
Yes.
don't know, maybe she wouldn't wear it again.
Uh,
Uh,
Does-
At the eye, the Dark One's prison.
no,
Okay.
all
All
right,
right.
Dane.
Sure.
that's
What
not what the eye is.
what kind of problems can you see lore wise with the Dark One's prison being at the eye of the world?
Well, then what the fuck is Shale Ghoul?
Yep.
Like,
It's a good
for
question.
one,
Good question. Fair question.
the, the other, how far is the eye of the world from fucking Mulkir? When we get there, it's
Approximately
like
a half hour.
half. So that's where it was. It's only now recently covered in blight. Like, oh my god, fucking damn it! The eye of the world was cool, right? Because it was weird and mystical, and you didn't know what was going on. But that's precisely because you're in the same mind space as your main character as Rand. There's some really cool world building about the eye of the world that happens after the fact when you go to the Rhoydian dream sequences in the fourth book about 100 Aes Sedai sacrificing their lives in order to build the thing because it would be needed. And then it's used at the end of the book to destroy the Trolloc army, which gives Rand the breathing space to basically unite the world behind him. Like, I think there's some emphasis lost as to how big a deal it was when Rand basically destroys that giant army of Trollocs at the end of the book, because it's the only reason why he has a breather and is able to do what he does. Otherwise, all the lands would have been overrun. But I love the books. I hate the show. This fucking sucks. This is a terrible change. Don't like it. I'm angry.
uh this shot, I think Moraine has more of a beard than Diza in in the Rings of Power. That's all I get.
There is
That's
some
very,
fluff on the side.
those are legitimately some fluffy ass. Like that's a lot. Like
I don't think it's high res on mine, but I see what you're saying. It's like her jowls have got
there's some fluff on there.
there's some fluff.
That may or may not show up on the on the broadcast when we post it on YouTube because the downgrade in quality. But go well, look for a picture. I don't know. Don't go give Amazon a watch.
He was trapped by the last dragon at the cost of almost everything.
What?
And now one of you will finish the job you started in your previous life.
You don't know who the dragon is.
You dumb bitch, he basically says.
When we left the Two Rivers, I told you nothing because I couldn't trust you.
What?
But now I know you and I...
Boss.
What? Now you know them? No, you
Yeah,
don't.
it's
You've spent 4 days with these people over the last month and a half.
But she was also wounded and like going into delirium. She doesn't know them any better now than she did when they got separated at Shadow Logoth.
Oh
The fuck is this?
She
Sorry,
was
Alex, go
literally
ahead.
cogent for what? Let's be generous and give her 2 days as they were walking, and 1 day since they've left. Like even that's overstating it.
Yeah, and the few conversations that they had was like basically arguments between her and Rand. I know you so well. The last time we spoke, you told me to fuck myself.
And blow smoke up my ass. Oh my god.
they should quiz her right now on what's everyone's name. Just try that.
That is a quiz. That is a quiz most of the audience
now
would
you
fail.
know what's my last name? Oh god.
Brown-haired wolf boy.
Open mouth person.
Open mouth pet. Mary Sue Elvire. Oh god.
Even Lan is looking at her like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've been here the whole time.
Know the redhead's name.
Yeah, I've been here the whole time, and I'm pretty sure Randall over there is like, where did we even have him here the whole time? Like, where did we find that guy? She's like, which one's Steve?
I remember thinking about training them with a sword at some point, but I forgot. So
do you guys remember somebody made some great videos of the little like cartoon kind of shorts of like going through the plot of these with the little like the kind of robot voiceover? Wasn't that an ongoing joke of the like calling people Steve and like that's not my name, whatever, Steve.
Those are brilliant. I love those.
Those are so good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to search for those. We'll put a link in the description if I can find them. Those were gold. Those are so good.
Run away.
This fucking show.
Let me speak clearly.
For once.
Sure.
If we turn back here, if we do not stop the Dark One now while he is still weak, the whole world will turn to darkness. Armies of Trollocs and Fades, 1,000,000 strong, will wash across the land, killing and eating every person they find. What they did to
She
your
can't
village
lie.
is nothing compared to what they will do.
She seems to be intimately familiar with the Dark One's plans.
Yeah, the earth itself will burn. It's pretty specific. I think Moraine's a dark friend confirmed.
You could argue that.
Also, yeah, Matt's over here like, I don't give a shit about any of that.
Matt at least has the brains to realize this bitch is out of her mind.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
You can't lie, right? Oh, you actually believe this stuff? Nope. See ya. Oh, man.
When a new age comes, it will be built upon the ashes. The places
I make that exact same face when I'm on Twitter.
No, it's Moraine. If this actually comes to fruition, there is no next age. And this Disparu pointed this out. Okay, so let's give some props again, and we're redoing this, right? It's a rewatch. We got all the benefit of hindsight, but Disparu pointed out that this is the most despicable question to ask, right? So it just got laid out to you, Egwene, that if you don't go, the whole world is going to end. And then she's asking a question. Well, what about me?
Well,
Right?
she
Because
probably
if
thinks that she's the dragon, though. So
so it's not a selfish kind
yeah,
of
she's
question. She's just
actually
like, what happens to Rand?
yeah, she's like, hey,
Who's
what
not the
what
dragon?
happens what happens to my warm dildo when I've sort of yeeted the dark one? Is he still going to be around? Do I have to plug him back in again? Like his batteries are going to be
But
depleted at a minimum, right?
but again, like this question, it seems like Zax is absolutely right. This is a question that like it's talking to the audience. It's not natural dialogue. She's just trying to build up. Well, what are the stakes for those of us going here who might not be
Right.
the dragon? Like it's one of five of us. So what happens to the other four? That's an audience type question. It's not her question. It's not what her character would say.
And
Yeah.
not like this either.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask that question, you don't. This is not a group question.
It's something you
Yeah.
pull, like you tug on Moraine's sleeve, kind of when you're going through the waves of being like,
Yep.
all right, so what happens to Rand if he's not the dragon, right? If you're concerned, that would be a better way to do it, because it actually makes you potentially sympathetic, like you actually
Or
care about others. Whereas this,
or
I just
or
interpret
you
this as her
would
caring about herself.
or you would say something like, and then what? Like what happens to us after? Like you would ask something that would be more inclusive to the group. So
What happens to them?
them, see? What happens to them? See? All the people who aren't the dragon. What happens to these fucking schmucks when I go fucking
Know for certain until that moment comes.
Can she say that? Because
I
she was
mean,
pretty
Yeah.
definitive in the prior
She-
scene where she's like, "We know that whoever comes between the dragon and the Dark One gets destroyed." So is she lying here, or was she
well, I
lying
mean,
back in
she's
the love
apparently
shack?
not certain about literally anything to include prophecies that she fucking heard. Uh
Worst
yeah,
show
whatever.
ever.
Yeah, I'll give it to her. I don't give a shit. I don't know why Loyal is willing to go for this though.
It's
He's like,
just
I know for a fact
why
I'm
am I
not the
here?
dragon.
Right.
It's like
Yeah, why am I coming along? Seems like you guys are doing some heavy shit here.
So here we go. To open the ways, you need to channel. So the Ogier.
Dude, she loves that T pose.
She does.
Yeah. So I heard a lot of people trying to claim, look, see, the channeling looks like an Evandisora leaf.
Hmm.
Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently, show shills, this is supposed to be the Evandisora leaf that opens the Waygate.
They're on crack. I don't think we can acknowledge. them on
Agreed.
that.
Agreed. I think
It would.
it's comical bad.
Why is it upside down?
Because
It's
it's
not even
actually her getting butterfly wings.
I actually think you might be right.
It's just her fucking angel wings. She did the cross angel wings, and yeah. Man, she does a lot of gesturing.
And this is all just the whole. No female character on this show can need help or can learn a thing from a male character.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what it
very
is.
good point.
This is literally the same shot of Matt again.
Yeah,
He's probably gone home by then.
Yeah, Matt dipped out.
But it's
So
it's the same.
so
Like it's a recycled frame. It's not like
That's what I mean. They're literally having to splice in stuff. They literally went, what shot of Matt looks the most perplexed? They took that footage, threw this green screen behind it, and called it good.
Do you guys think that the character playing, like the actor playing Matt, if you take a look there, does he have a pierced ear?
Huh.
It's too grainy for me on my
Kinda looks
screen.
like
Can't
it.
tell.
It To me, it looks like he's got a pierced ear.
It would fit
Uh,
with the two
I
rivers, right?
I know that I'm running the video here, so maybe I just have the better quality video. Again, people in the comment section can go look up a high res picture or something like that and let us know down below what they think
Don't
about
give
it.
the views.
But yeah, don't give the views to Amazon. But yeah, it looks like he has a pierced ear to me, which is hilarious.
Is it too late to change my mind?
That's meta.
Yeah, I mean
That's about as meta
clearly
as the white cloaks are right. That's
clearly
been
it's
my
not
challenge.
too late, as we know. Do we think that this is the scene, right? So obviously he had to actually say that line, right? So the actor that played Matt said that line.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that I struggle with. The idea that like, they like crudely pasted his shot in. If he was still filming this close to the end of the episode, like literally moments before them going into the ways, like
Maybe he had already decided not to come back to this thing, and what he was doing there was ad-libbing. And then the director remembered, oh, remember when he didn't speak his proper line, but he said something that was kind of funny, but maybe we should have seen it coming that he was going to quit. Maybe that's where that shot came from. But you're absolutely right.
This is
This kind
them.
of
This is
seems like they
them.
wrote him out.
that's what I mean.
This is him supposed to be making a flippant joke. He makes those basically all he does in fact is make those stupid jokes.
I
That's
don't know.
not how
I think
roads
the point,
work, Alex.
yeah, the point that I was making is that that line seems too,
Apropos.
yeah, exactly. And so I feel like the argument that they made that the just absolute abysmal ending of this episode, like he forced their hand, they had no way to like fix it because he just like walked off set one day and never came back. Like that's I do not think that's what happened, right? I think that he was like, look, I'm done with this shit, I'm gonna leave, or whatever the context was, but he finished filming on this episode.
Yeah.
Like they
True.
did not have to destroy the character of Matt this way. They could have had him ride back with the horses to take them back to Tarvalon. They
Take
could have
off their
just not,
bridles and saddles at least.
yeah, they could have had him just not even show up. And they just like, then they could have like, hey, where's Matt? Which hilariously, they could have just done a reshoot for the other characters, not including Matt, if this is what they wanted to do. Hey, where's Matt? And it's like, oh, he's still too sick from the dagger, right? Like there's literally no world where they were forced to ruin Matt's character in the way that they did. Because all they would have had to change is this one scene, which they could have reshot to just not include Matt. So even if he was here and then walked off set the next morning and didn't finish it, and they had to like paste his image into this shot of the ways, cool. One scene of a reshoot, and like you've solved the problem and kept Matt's character intact for next season.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could have been missing. It's like, where is Matt? It's like we lost him. And Land could be confounded, being like, so oh, he was addicted to the dagger, and then he's like off in Tarvalon and you can't get him. And then it
Literally
becomes
just
like you could have done
just
it.
he's recovering with
under
the
the care
yellows.
of the yellow eye.
Yeah, he's recovering with the yellows is all they'd have to say, and that would actually set him up for the right spot for his next season. So it's just like it's intentional what they did to Matt. It's vindictive. I think that the actor decided like screw this, I'm out. And Rafe Judkins is too petty to have prioritized the story over being a dick to the character that the actor was playing as some sort of vindictive bullshit. And he ruined Matt's character and also the arc, the story for next season, all of that shit because he couldn't get over the fact that he asked this guy to come to his tent after the end of shooting one night, and the dude told him to fuck off. And yeah,
Well, to be fair, like they were well on their way to ruining Matt's character and the story and the plot of like season two, well before this happened with Barney Harris. So
But this
Yeah.
makes it literally
Barney
irredeemable, right?
Harris has
Yeah.
also he stepped out of another project. This isn't the
Oh,
only one that he's done this for. Um,
did that
yeah,
one suck as much as this one though?
I believe it sucked pretty bad. But I
Barney
think it
Harris
was
has taste, is what we're learning.
He's
yeah.
an
So
actor.
yeah, so I can't really I legitimately think that was just supposed to be like a flippant line where Matt makes a joke and then goes in anyway, which is actually, not totally out of context with his, his book character, and they do sort of do some of that stuff in the show. Um I just I as we've discussed, there are times as a showrunner you are put in a bad position. Either your writer writes something that's unproducible, or something like this happened. An actor is sick, an actor gets hurt. You have to make changes. You have to call an audible, and they can't call audibles. That this was such an easy fix, like you said. That
but
he's recovering with the yellow ajas. Reshoot the approach shot, cut everything where people are hugging Matt. Boom, you're done. Easy, but nope, can't do it. Too
well, they
lazy.
tripled down the next episode on destroying his
Yes.
character.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
So
did.
like that was intent 100% for sure at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and and
they
in the
did a
process they
shit
destroyed.
job of it.
Yeah, in the process they destroyed all the other characters too. Like Moraine's like, oh, I'll send the Reds after him. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yes. Yeah.
That was
That's why she's evil.
that is such a bizarre decision.
Mhm.
They're gonna have to retcon that, right?
We'll see. Everything that we've learned about this show is that whatever we think that they're going to do, it's going to be worse.
All right, well let's see the fucking crudely pasted and get to the end of this buffering.
There's no turning back.
Why?
Whatever happens now is beyond our control.
Stop talking like that, Moraine. Like
Also, like, what does that mean?
husky voice.
The wheel weaves as the wheel wills.
Ah, fuck
Why are
off.
you, and she's
off.
whispering to us. So this, again, it's Zax's point. It's like
Yep.
she's not talking to anybody else because they're all standing way too far back to hear it. She's talking to the fucking audience. This isn't She-Hulk. Fuck's sake.
I mean, in theory, she's looking into the ways, but are we willing to give her that much? I don't know.
No.
And wait. So who are all the characters that kind of came with them to this hill?
And that's
Right.
that's kind of what I was looking for. Matt's not back there. I was trying to see where he's standing so that we can
But
see.
I think he might actually be beside Nynaeve in this, if I
Yeah,
recall correctly, like after Moraine moves.
yeah, I
But
think so.
I think the dunking on Matt has begun even here because he's the only one that she's blocking from our line of sight. Like all the other characters are here, right? The
Yeah,
other four Evans Fielders plus Loyal plus Lan, they're in frame. Matt's the only one.
I mean, again, Lan is literally carrying her purse, so like, Lan Lan is still the one getting dunked on kind of the most out of the shot. Like he's like literally he's got her fucking saddlebags and is carrying them for her. So like,
Oh,
yeah.
here's a good point, but what the fuck are the other characters like carrying with him? Like Perrin doesn't even have an axe, but he doesn't have any supplies on him at all.
None.
Like
Yes,
he's
none.
carrying nothing. Rand at least has his like stupid bow in the
He's also
holster.
got what looks kind of like a saddlebag over
That's
like over his
probably
shoulder
Egwene's
or something
stuff.
like that. Yeah, so he's
Definitely
carrying
Egwene's
Egwene's
stuff.
purse. Lan is carrying Moraine's purse. Nynaeve is
Oh,
carrying her own purse because she's sort of, you know,
she's got some stones.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, see, slight hint of Matt there.
Yeah, Matt was standing there, yeah.
So they all walk forward.
But again,
Same
Egwene
shot.
makes that decision first to walk forward, right? And
I
then
feel
Rand
like we
follows her.
Yeah, so that for sure. And the question is whether or not, let's see here. So this is the shot where they're about to walk, I think, right?
Yep.
So she walks and Loyal.
Cuts her off.
Okay.
Then Rand.
I think we've seen this shot of Matt before.
Like
I
7
think that was a
times.
reused. Yeah, that was a reused shot. And did you guys see Perrin? Perrin just like looks around, like back over his shoulder, and he like looks
Yeah.
at he like looks at his feet, and then back behind him, like, oh shit, where am I?
At least his mouth is closed. Oh wait,
Maybe.
I don't think it was.
Why is Lan letting her go into the ways first? Right? Do you guys remember in the books how they entered the ways? Didn't Lan go in first?
Yes, and Moraine, because she's kind of opening the way gator, just like she's the last one in, last one out.
It just
Guys,
seems.
what do we know about this storytelling here?
It sucks.
She can't follow Lan. It's got to be her first
Yeah, that's for damn
every
sure.
time.
Then
Yeah.
what's the point of a warder? Oh my god.
Somebody's
So,
got to carry the purse.
Fuck. I'm writing down thumbnail ideas. That was pretty good.
Just stupid fucking lightning flashes in the ways.
So
Why
I've
is
got a
there
quick question here.
lightning
Quick
in the
question.
ways?
No. What's more Star Trek Voyager? Loyal's Kazon wig, or the ways and the lightning like effects? Because nothing screamed to me like shitty 90s Star Trek like
Huh.
the ways did. Am I wrong? That it kind of feels like an episode where they like Captain Janeway's going underground on this new planet.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
I
like
see
there's
that
lightning
now.
underground kind of thing, and ooh, everything looks octagonal because of some mineral formation. Like that, I
Yeah.
honestly don't know what
Yeah.
looks more Star Trek Voyager, Loyal or the Ways.
I think we need to give a little bit of respect to Voyager. Voyager would never have an alien look as shit as Loyal.
So I guess the rocks. Have it because Voyager had better costumes and effects.
All right, Alex settles the debate like he always does. Thank you, sir.
Hey, how many times have we seen Egwene in the out of focus background of any shot in this entire show?
It's not like he's the main character. Oh, fuck this show.
Yeah. I love that she's looking forward into the ways and he's looking at her.
I mean, you can't even tell what he's looking at. He looks like a fade right there, like an eyeless. Like he's so out of focus.
At least he is out of focus, right? This is
True.
part of the problem with this whole show and how it was filmed is basically they use the high powered cameras, everything's in focus all the time. That's why everything looks poorly lighted, and like the director was completely indecisive about what he wanted the shot to be.
Yeah,
Except when Rand's in the background, apparently.
true. And the mole is always in high definition.
Fucking hell. Close your mouth.
Did he just grunt? Did he just grunt?
Yeah.
Close your mouth. Oh, sorry, Alex. That was your line. Do you want to say it?
Ah, you got it.
All right.
Oh fuck.
What are you doing?
The same shot
He's not
over
doing
again.
anything,
Yeah.
you dumb bitch. He's just standing there. Nope. That's the same shot again.
I know they reused it all.
Like 5 times.
I like how he doesn't even look like he's upset about it. He just looks like bored. There's a phenomenal episode of Community where Chang gets internet famous, and so they have to stitch together a movie with just like 6 shots of Chang, and that is what that was.
Yeah.
You remember the Simpsons episode where they try and finish the Radioactive Man movie with shots of Milhouse as Fallout Boy? That's
Oh,
kinda
yeah,
like that. Yeah. But
I
this
just
was,
think how
this
much
was a little
shorter
bit
would
more
this
pro.
how much shorter would this episode have been? We're at an hour in this so far in this episode. I think it would have been at least like I don't know, maybe like 57 minutes if they had just kept out all of the Matt fucking the same recycled scene over and over again.
Girl.
I
Ye-
like how they all yell ineffectually at him from the portal, and no
Yes.
one, not his best friend, comes out and comes back through and says, "What's going on?"
Well, they couldn't
No,
do that because he wasn't there.
and Egwene didn't do it. If Egwene did it, then Rand could do it, but otherwise he
Well,
can't.
yeah, Gwen was holding on to his leash, so like, you know, hard to see because he was out of focus. Rand is actually wearing one of those little monkey tail backpacks.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Well,
Did
we
you
made
guys
it,
have fun?
guys. We
we
made
did
it.
it.
We got through episode 6.
Oh
So
man.
here's a meta comment from me to cap this one off before I pass it off to you guys for final thoughts. But episodes 4, 5, and 6, I think I've laughed a lot more than episodes 1, 2, 3, and I think laughed a lot more than maybe what's coming. And part of that I think is down to this 3-episode arc was not in the story at all. So as long as the show is deviating so materially from the books, I don't get as offended as when it's actually trying to follow the narrative. It just does it poorly and butchers things that I actually like. Because Loyal and or sorry, Logain and the camp, Steppen, that whole fucking shit, this Oathraw dildo and the scissoring, like none of it happened in the books. So I'm mad that we're seeing this instead of what could be in the books. But at least they're not butchering Shatter Logoth. At least they're not butchering Master Hightower. At least they're not butchering everybody in Emmons Field. Um, so I
But
was
they
able
are
to
butchering everyone in Emmons Field. Like
I was gonna
literally.
say,
they were in episode 1. Well, sorry, but I should clarify that's like Senbui and
Ah,
Tam
okay.
Thor and so all the other side characters, and they burned down the Wine Spring Inn for crying out loud. So I've been laughing at these ones more than the first 3 episodes, and I am not looking forward to episodes 7 and 8, which are arguably some of the worst butchering of story that should ostensibly have been written down. But these last 3 episodes, fuck it. I can laugh my ass off at them because they're just made up fan fiction.
I think that's interesting is it gets worse from here. Like notably worse from here.
Yes, agreed.
Like
Just when I thought it couldn't
I
get
don't
any
know.
worse.
So
Uh,
my recollection is that episode 7 is an improvement on 5, 6.
It's really not. We'll get through it.
I mean, like it's not. I didn't say much of an improvement, but I feel like you've watched Steppen slowly committing suicide and old people scissoring for 2 episodes, and like literally anything else, it's like, oh, thank God.
I
This
don't
is
know,
what I
man. We start off with the assassination of Matt's character. What is it?
No. We start off with the placenta snow.
So
Oh God, that's
Again.
right.
again, the only
Yes.
thing that episode 7 has going for it is I think that the last 2 episodes literally nothing has happened. Whereas episode 7 starts moving moving the actual plot forward
Yeah,
again, and they
what I'm
screw it
saying
up
is,
in all
and what
sorts
I'm
of
saying is
ways.
that's more painful. So
That might be the case, but it's still it's more painful maybe, but I think it's also like, I don't know, better from sort of like an external perspective. And then I don't know. I mean, I can't speak to episode 8 because I'm just going to be, crying in the fetal position as we go through episode 8.
Yeah.
Well,
appreciate your thoughts, Pips. Alex, over to you, and then as always, we're going to give our guest the final word on this.
I guess what do you even say about this particular run? Like I just what would a 4-sentence summary of this be? Moraine is sad about being banished. Moraine rides to the Waygate. The Ebonfielders show up at the Waygate. Everybody goes in except Matt.
Nice.
Why are all of these episodes so long? Like, why are all of these sections so long? This entire episode could have been cut in half time wise, and nothing would have been lost. And I don't get why this is like this. Especially if you're
because
going to complain
the
about that
books
there's not
were
enough time.
too long. They had to cut something from. Uh,
I guess that's my biggest takeaway is as shitty as this is, the shittier aspect is what we're not getting because we are getting this.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 3/4 of the way into the first season run, and nothing has happened. None of the characters have been given any sort of personality or agency. Um, yeah, I mean, it's
Matt, or I'm sorry, Rand hasn't drawn his sword against an enemy yet.
Well, what about Lan?
Uh,
Yeah,
and he got
exactly.
made to
He
bite down
hasn't.
on the pillow, so that just barely
Oh,
counts.
God.
yeah, I mean, Matt has done negative things.
Aaron needs to close his fucking mouth.
I was gonna say, I mean, that's the part that just pisses me off more than anything about this is that what has been lost from this.
Exactly. But again, my point, I could laugh at this more rather than when they're taking something and trying to kind of seem true to the source material, but just getting it wrong. Zax, thank you so much for joining. I hope you had a ton of fun on this.
I did.
Surprisingly, hope we didn't spoil too much of the books. I really hope that you and your son actually pick up The Eye of the World and start reading it together. It's the silver lining that we've noticed that a lot of people are telling their friends, like, this show was not good. This is not representative of the books at all. So go and read the books and I'll prove it to you. So it is getting people to read. So that's a silver lining. We can lament that if the show actually was good, way more people would be reading The Eye of the World. But over to you. Final thoughts on this episode, but feel free to comment kind of meta wise, the show in general, the series, etc. You got the floor.
Well, I think this is the final rundown to ruining every major character in the story through the next two episodes. This starts it off. This obviously Matt is done, destroyed, stomped on after this, and by the time you get to the end of episode 8, there's really nothing left. There's no redeeming qualities for any of the characters I actually like. Um, so this is kind of the beginning of that for me. This episode was boring and all nonsensical political stuff in the tower that I don't really care about. Kind of a waste of time. But at least they didn't kill off any characters until the very end when they started assassinating Matt. But everyone, even from like Lord Agomar, and they destroy him. Everything is Rand doesn't get his moment. Like this is all leading up to that for me now.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Jax, man, that is a brilliant
King
point.
Midas.
This just occurred to me. If they had never gone to the tower, what changes in the overall plot?
Matt doesn't get healed for one, so he still has got that hanging over him,
Right.
right?
Moraine healed Matt.
Not permanently. What's implied here in the show is that he's permanently healed and therefore
I think he means what would have changed if they hadn't gone to the tower in this season. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
no tower politics, no stepping, no Logain bullshit.
And Rafe's, husband doesn't get his screen time in every episode. His 3 or 4 seconds he gets.
Yeah, I mean
Really?
the only thing that I can think of is that they wouldn't have met Loyal, which doesn't matter because Loyal is not important to the ways or anything else.
Well,
So
Loyal is also in Camelin.
if they had just hopped in the ways and skipped all the shit in Tarvalon in the first place, yeah, nothing actually would have changed in the story.
Alex, over to you. What changes?
I can't think of it. Okay, I can think of one thing. It is Suwan that tells them to go to the Eye of the World, which, considering that's book inaccurate, that's the only thing that changes. So the entire sequence of them going to the tower was literally a waste of time. They could have gone from, wherever they met up, make it Camelin or whatever, and just gone, and nothing was lost.
Yeah, but other than the actual plot points in the book, so what you didn't get Bail Doman, you didn't get Elias Machera, You didn't get Elaine and Galad and Gawain and Morghese and Elida and Gareth Bryn. You didn't get Loyal where you're supposed to be. You didn't set up Basil Gill. You didn't get all that. Instead, you got the fucking scissoring, and you got Steppen, and you got Mexican Logain.
Yeah. And you get very long shots, drone type shots of that stupid chamber, the throne room, and explanations of that person is also a chair.
I honestly can't understand what arguments would be made to try and defend this show or
Not at this
these
point.
two episodes, right?
Not
Like
at this point. It's
I don't see how someone who claims that they enjoyed the books could look at these two episodes and say, "Yep, that was worth a quarter of the season."
they
Right.
didn't enjoy the books. This show is being made by people who said, "Okay, I kind of liked it. Now let me make it better." You fucking hacks.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zax.
No.
Second set of last words over to you.
No,
If you
thanks for
got
having me
anything
on,
further,
guys.
but um,
I very much appreciate you guys having me on. It's fun. Fun to go through this again with people who also know it and who've sat through it like me more than once already, and have similar thoughts. And it's actually, I feel better after watching it with you guys than I did ever trying to watch it by myself.
cathartic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
It's good to
because
get the poison out.
it really is. And you guys were saying things that I felt but didn't know how to express. So that helps me work through it too.
It's only the
And
alcohol.
and I don't know why exactly, but I like I'm way more of a Lord of the Rings fan, but for some reason this show still makes me more mad.
I yeah
You're gonna get us into a whole discussion.
Sorry,
yeah.
yeah.
I
No,
think
that's
I
totally
think
fine,
part
and
of
I
it
think
is
narrative versus appendices. I think that's what's bothering me too, because I like
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. Wheel of Time is my big thing though, but narrative getting butchered versus an appendix.
And where do they go
I
from
almost
here?
Oh,
After you've done this to your main characters, how do you make them compelling seasons
wh-
going forward?
whatever you can conceive, it'll be worse.
Oh
Alex,
man.
sorry for interrupting.
I was gonna say, I think part of the reason that this show is so much worse is that it isn't professionally produced. We're clowning on the sets, and don't get me wrong, Rings of Power has some problems with their interior sets as well, but
Oh
it
yeah.
at least looks competent. There's some small nitpicks you might have with it, as far as the presentation,
They
but
get some
the
things right.
Yeah.
This show doesn't
Rings of
get anything
Power
right.
Rings of Power, if it was a decent story and a decent show, you probably wouldn't have a lot of people nitpicking about the sets and like the visuals and stuff like that, right? People are doing that because they're already chomping down on they're already kind of ripping it up, and so you have other things you kind of sprinkle in. So I do think that's a point worth making, that this show just doesn't look like a professional show. It looks like, a freaking high school art project.
yeah, it looks like community college theater.
Yeah.
I think that's worse, but I Pips, you and I have had this conversation of you know, the Wheel of Time at least has the sort of vaguest shadow of following Robert Jordan's work. Rings of Power is just entirely fan fiction, and it is bad, boring fan
Yeah.
fiction.
Yeah.
Well, I think we don't want
This
to
is
get
going to
too
be the
far into
mother
the
of all
conversation.
debates.
Yeah, I think we don't want to get too far in this conversation. I think it's a
All right.
conversation that we want to have. Uh, Dax, maybe we can talk offline if you want to be part of that conversation when we do it in the future. We would probably love to have you back on, but we've been going for a while. I think we should kind of wrap up this second
Yep.
half of the rewatch here,
But
and
e- everybody who's watching us, our 345 subs or so, we love you. But if you don't know who Zax is, go check him out. He's only, what is it, 17 times larger than our channel?
yeah, he's only like 6,000 subs. Like he's only got just a couple more than us. Just basically the
We'll
same.
send you some views your way, Zax. Don't worry about it. We got you covered, bud. But no,
Ah,
I
you
totally
guys
appreciate having you on.
You guys helped me get started with Reddit because the reason some of my earlier videos making fun of this thing got traction was from you guys. For real.
Well, that was probably
We have
just
a
because
lot.
you were making some good quality jokes, and we
Exactly.
were just appreciating it. I don't know if we can really claim that we were helping you because we were just appreciating the stuff you were doing.
We
But
had
that does
functioning brains and rational thoughts.
that does segue right into so what do you got coming out over the next couple weeks or so? This video is coming out on Thursday.
Okay.
That'll be dropped on YouTube, so we'll be doing that then. But what do you have coming out after that?
I'll probably well, I've been doing a Thursday live show, so that'll probably interfere with this show. So if you're listening to this, it's probably too late to catch my Thursday show. But gonna
I
be
think
on
actually your Thursday live show is what time again? Like 8:15 Central.
yeah.
So
We should conflict.
this show should end in just enough time. You know what? Hey,
Perfect.
Everybody go
everybody
over to
watching
Zaxx.
this in the live chat on our premiere, go over to Zaxx's page. Link will be in the description for his thing, and go check out his live watch, which yeah, he does really good quality stuff. So you should check him out. Throw him a like, subscribe, all that.
And
High
Pips
effort.
is supposed to be on as well soon.
I didn't want to put the cart before the horse, and
Figuratively or literally. Ouch. Well played,
What
sir.
else? I'm on Monday nights. I'm on Sporking News podcast talking about House of the Dragon. Tuesdays, Salty Texas Seas channel, and then my channel Thursdays. And in the meantime, I'm doing a ton of videos right now. A lot of shorts for Band of Brothers, but I'm also I always have about 8 videos that I'm working through that are close to being done, but I get excited about something else and leave it for a while. So that's kind of where I'm at.
all right. Well, Dane, you got anything to send us off on?
Final thoughts as always. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for suffering through this with us. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Love you all and walk in the light.
Walk in the light.